everybody, it's Mark Robertson, Pensacola Bay Brewery here again, continuing the brewing process. We've already created our sugar water, and we brought it to a boil in our boil kettle. We've added our hops, we've added our kettle findings, which we didn't really discuss earlier, but all you brewers out there know what they are. It's a seaweed-related product that causes an ion reaction in the boil kettle that causes byproducts during the boil to clump together, so we can collect them at the bottom of the kettle and not move them into the fermenters. It's very important because those create off flavors in your beer. So as a home brewer in your little kettle, you can use a spoon to get that process going. Just let it settle. As a larger brewer, we use something known as a whirlpool. We whirlpool the beer, we spin it real fast. When we stop it, there's a cyclonic action in it down the middle. Like when you mix a jug of Kool-Aid or something and you stir it, that little tornado down the middle, that causes the hop particulates and trube stuff, protein byproducts to form into clumps at the bottom of the kettle known as a trube pile. Another German word we talked about earlier. German words in brewing are prevalent because they kind of took it to the next level. So we've done all that, we settled our beer out, now we want to move it over to the fermenter. And here's where it gets tricky, folks, because if your sanitation process in your brewery is not tight, this is where you're going to cause all that hard work on the hot side to turn to crap. So we meticulously clean and sanitize our fermenters and our heat exchanger and our hoses that we use to move the product back and forth in the brew house prior to using them with a 3-stage process, which you homebrewers can do if you like, but mostly just using a good caustic will help you in that process. Before we move the beer over, we make sure everything is sanitary and up to our standards of cleanliness so we don't lose all that hard work prior to the cold side. We move the wort, unfermented beer that's been hopped and boiled. We move it into our fermenter quietly. Quietly means we move it in from the bottom of the vessel and let it rise up. And the reason for that is even in the fermentation process, even though you add oxygen for the yeast, you don't want to contact the beer with, you want to minimize the contact of the beer with air. So we do a very quiet movement of the beer, and during that process we actually add the yeast to the chilled wort, and then close the fermenter door, and then continue to fill it till it's full, and then we wait. We wait and let the yeast do its job. Our yeast is our fifth employee in the brewery. It works for us 24 hours a day. It doesn't ask any questions. It's a single cell organism with no brain, although people have asked me where the brain is. It has no brain, but it has the ability to adapt. So all you microbiologists out there know all these things. You can go into that deeper. We could spend hours on yeast. We use different strains of yeast for different beers. We want to be authentic, and we also use authentic fermentation temperatures. And you guys can look those up in books. We won't provide you what we use because that's our proprietary secret. But we're very authentic to styles and fermentation temperatures, and we try to use the yeast in its best fermentation range. However, as a home brewer, I did some brews in the summertime where I fermented at 78 degrees. I nicknamed it the hot flash fermentation process. And my cleanliness and sanitation were so good that I created very good beers at those temperatures, albeit a little bit fruitier and had more esters than the controlled temperature fermentation. But you can do it, and it's not a problem. So until next time, cheers.